let me slide. And then I was like, I'm never talking about this dude again. Because I was scared. Like, you know, A&R was threatening me.
King Von was brave enough to act on his threats, and some people say he was responsible for nearly 10 murders. It is no surprise that many people, including famous British streamer Traplaw Ross, were very scared of him. Even Trenches News, a well-known streamer, admitted that King Von was dangerous. He remembered times when he was sure his life was in danger. He said, "He could have killed me so many times when I was over there." Even after King Von passed away, Charleston White continued to talk about the power and fear Von had over people. King Von's name alone was enough to make many people feel uneasy. For some, just hearing his name made them too scared to speak about him. Before King Von's tragic death in November 2020, Charleston White was very afraid of him. He would often refer to King Von as a demon, which made it clear how much he feared the rapper. This fear was something that stayed with Charleston for a while. However, after Von was killed outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta, something changed in Charleston. His fear turned into anger. As time passed, Charleston started speaking very negatively about King Von, and his feelings went from being afraid to being full of hate. His tone and attitude toward Von became much harsher after the rapper's death. Charleston White started making more interviews, in which he openly accused King Von of being a dangerous person, and even called him names. In September 2022, Charleston sat down for an interview with DJ Academics on his Fresh and Fit podcast. During this interview, Charleston showed no sympathy or compassion while discussing King Von's death. The controversial YouTuber said that he didn't think Von's death was unfortunate at all. Instead, Charleston said that Von was a demon, someone who actively chose a dangerous path that led to his own death. According to White, King Von...
That idol. That idol is a demon. A self-proclaimed demon. I don't ride with demons.
Von worked hard to create a life where something like that could happen to him. What made this even more striking was that Charleston didn't hold back when he spoke about King Von. Many people who were close to King Von, or who admired his music, may have felt sad or conflicted after his death. But Charleston seemed to feel no remorse. He openly stated that King Von's actions in life led to his untimely death. Charleston White went as far as to say that Von had created an image of being tough and intimidating, but he believed that Von had always been a person heading down a destructive road. Charleston's stance on King Von's life and death became a topic that sparked debate in the public eye. While some believed that Charleston was being too harsh, others agreed with his view that King Von's lifestyle and actions were leading to something dangerous. Charleston used the platform he had to express how he saw the rapper's life and the consequences that came with it. He firmly believed that King Von's reputation as a tough, feared figure was exactly what got him into trouble. According to White, King Von's demon persona was a choice that Von made, and that ultimately led to his death. People who supported King Von, as well as those who didn't, were shocked by Charleston's words. Many fans of King Von felt disrespected and hurt by Charleston's lack of sympathy. They felt that, despite Von's tough image, he didn't deserve to die in such a tragic way. Yet, Charleston stood firm in his beliefs. He didn't apologize or back down. He continued to talk about Von in a way that left no room for sympathy. Charleston White, in the years following King Von's death, continued to stir up controversy with his strong opinions. His views were never subtle. He made sure that everyone knew exactly how he felt. To Charleston, King Von represented a dangerous life that caught up with him in the end.
A man who was accused of killing a black girl. He's celebrated, right? You got celebrities who take pictures in front of his mural. What about his...
He didn't see Von as a victim, but rather someone who played a role in his own fate. Charleston made it clear that he believed King Von had made his choices, and those choices ultimately led to his death. For many, Charleston's comments were seen as cruel, especially considering that King Von was loved by so many people and had a massive fan base. Yet Charleston seemed to have no hesitation in expressing his views, regardless of how others might react. His bluntness and harsh words were a clear sign that, even after King Von's death, Charleston White was still not afraid to speak his mind. And for many, that was part of what made Charleston so controversial. His unwillingness to soften his message, even when it came to someone as influential as King Von. In conclusion, Charleston White's perspective on King Von went from being filled with fear to pure anger after the rapper's death. While many people mourned Von's passing and saw it as a tragic loss, Charleston didn't share that sentiment. Instead, he saw Von as someone who made dangerous choices, and that led him down a path to his eventual demise. His harsh words about Von's life and death became a subject of public debate, with some agreeing with him and others feeling deeply offended by his lack of compassion. Regardless of how people felt, Charleston White made it clear that he would continue to speak his mind, no matter how controversial his opinions might be. __. That idol is a demon, a self-proclaimed demon. I don't ride with demons. When did black people start riding with demons? In the interview, academics brought up how Charleston White had been criticized for seeming to celebrate King Von's death. Charleston did not hold back in his response. He pointed out the hypocrisy in the music industry by mentioning how King Von had mocked the death of Tuka, a 15-year-old rapper who was shot and killed at a bus stop in Chicago in 2011. Even though
So these people are hurting. They don't have a voice. They don't have nobody can say, man, fuck them. But they saying fuck King Von because he's been accused of killing their people.
Tuka's mother begged for people to stop making fun of her son's death, several rappers, including Von, continued to mock him. Yet, no one really spoke out against them. Out on their behavior, White went on to point out that no one was more deserving of such treatment than King Vo due to his many sins, and labeled the rapper a killer. According to White, King Vo was known to be a killer, a man who killed black people, a man who was accused of killing a black girl. His celebrated, right? You got celebrities who take pictures in front of his mural. What about his victim's family? But the White's onslaught on King Von didn't end there. He specifically complained about King Von became successful by rapping about his violent past, including his involvement in murders. One of the most talked about incidents happened in 2014 when Von was connected to the death of Malcolm Stuckey and the injury of 2 other men in a shooting. Because of this, Von ended up in Cook County Jail for over 3 years. However, in 2017, he was set free when the charges were dropped. This happened because the key witnesses in the case refused to testify. Many people believe the witnesses were scared of what King Von might do to them. This situation was one of the main reasons why Charleston White strongly criticized King Von. Charleston White said that King Von deserved no sympathy. He also complained about all the attention Von was getting, saying it should instead go to the victims. He asked, "What about these victims? Nobody is paying attention to them. They are the ones hurting, and they do not have a voice. No one is standing up for them. But people are saying forget them because they are angry at King Von, who was accused of killing their family members." King Von was shot and killed outside a nightclub in Atlanta. Quando Rondo's friend, Lil Tim, was first charged with the murder of King Von. However, the charges were later dropped after it was proven that he had acted in self-defense. Since then, Charleston White has made it his mission to shame and criticize everything about King Von. This has upset many people who still support the late rapper. While most of Von's fans have called out Charleston online, one of Von's friends took things even further and gave Charleston an ultimatum. White in October 2024 taking to Instagram Live with White. The man could be seen flashing a gun while ordering White to issue an apology for disparaging comments he had made about King Vo. He also noted that he knew White's location and he was going to pull up on him if he failed to issue the apology within the allotted time, but no one expected White to use
1, 10 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fuck King Von.
yield to the threat, and he certainly didn't disappoint in his response. The YouTuber counted down the 10 seconds before uttering some more disrespectful. Charleston White boldly made comments about King Von right to a man's face. He started by counting, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forget King, all over again. The man seemed shocked by White's defiance. Before he could respond, White quickly started counting again, saying 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forget King's mama all over again. Okay, mama too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forget King's baby all over again. White then called out the man for not keeping his word about confronting him. The two argued back and forth for a few moments. Before the man left the live stream, Charleston White continued to make fun of him for not following through on his threat. White mocked him for not turning his words into action. A few months earlier, White got into a heated argument online with King Von's sister after she posted a tweet saying she had seen White in Chicago and would have beaten him up if the police had not been nearby. White quickly responded by sharing a video on Instagram where he talked about Lil Tim, Von's alleged killer. In the video, White also said that if Kayla had approached him, she would have seen what his hands could do. Have turned bisexual. He then shared another post on Instagram and the caption had a message for Kayla. It read, "Dear King Von's sister, I want to kindly remind you that your tough-ass dead brother was slumped at a club in Atlanta, Georgia for trying to fight a little skinny, __. I'm sure you don't want join the hump in the ground gang for thinking you're tough too." He continued, "I also want to remind you that I embrace your brother killer with love, admiration and appreciation for killing your brother. No love you and King Von's mom even." got dragged into the messy fight at some point, but the last few months have thankfully seen a ceasefire from both sides while White put his fear aside and went on the offensive. The next guy turned his fear of Von into a whole documentary that exposed all the late rapper's alleged murders. Trap L. Ross accused V of being a serial killer. Back in May 2024, British YouTuber Trap Law Ross appeared on Vlad TV where
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. King Von Mama all over again.
Oh, okay, Mama too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
he talked about his controversial documentary on King Von, which labeled the late rapper as rap's first serial killer. The documentary was released on April 10, 2023, more than 3 years after King Von passed away. However, Ross and Von had already crossed paths long before that. In his interview with DJ Vlad, the YouTuber explained how the meeting left him scared for his life. It all started when Ross accused King Von of killing the well-known Chicago street legend, Dakira Key Barnes. According to Ross, Von did not take these accusations well, and he shared with Vlad TV what happened after that. I did those videos about Vow, he nearly packed my channel. After that I was shook, I took out the key stuff, he let me slide, and then I was like, I'm never talking about this dude again cause I was scared, like, you know, his and was sting to me. V seemingly had killed people, it wasn't. I was like, I ain't talking about this guy again. When DJ Vlad asked if he was really scared for his life since he lived in England, Ross emphasized that although 95% of the time he felt that his safety wasn't an issue, that 5% uncertainty gave him sleepless nights. Ross went on to explain how at some point he had to call Vlad before heading to Los Angeles. Ross asked if he should get private security for his safety. As the interview went on, Ross explained that even though he had promised not to talk about King Von again, he changed his mind after hearing about the rapper's death. He decided to tell the full story about Von, looking into his life and investigating whether the rumors about him being a killer were true. Ross said, "My goal with this story was to finally answer the question, did Von really do it?" Ross started to question whether King Von really had all these bodies because Von himself talked about them in his songs. He mentioned having a few and said things like 4 plus 3, 3 plus 2, and even said, "You are not a killer if you only have 2 bodies." As Ross looked more into Von's life, matching his tweets with news articles and police reports, it seemed like Von might have been a killer. But everything changed when Ross found the FBI's definition of a serial killer, and it made him see his research in a whole new way, which focuses on the multiplicity of the murders, the time gap between the murders, behavioral patterns, and personal gratification. According to Ross, it was at that point it dawned on him that King Von was a serial killer. He said, "I think this guy was a serial killer. I think he matches the description," and I thought that that was a really interesting conversation, and that's when the title of the video came about. On Friday, April 7, 2023, the UK documentarian uploaded the video titled King Von Raps. Trap Law Ross shared a documentary on his YouTube channel, which has over 1 million subscribers. The documentary, lasting more than 4 hours, links King Von to 10 different murders he is accused of committing before he passed away, many of which took place in his hometown of Chicago. According to the documentary, Von allegedly committed 5 murders in 2012, including 2 that happened just 2 weeks apart in October. Ross also stated that Von took the lives of 3 more victims in 2014, including Dakira Key Barnes. The documentary also links King Von to the murder of Dakira Key Barnes, a teenager who had been accused of several murders before her own death in April 2014.
So I did those videos about Von. He nearly packed my channel. After that, I was shook. I took out the KI stuff. He let me slide. And then I was like, I'm never talking about this dude again. Because I was scared. Like, you know, his A&R.
It also connects Von to a murder in 2018 and another one in Atlanta in March 2019. According to the film, Von's 10 victims include King Doc, Dirty, Modell, P5, Lil James, Lil Mark, Malcolm Stuckey, Key, Man, and Tyreek. 2 days after the documentary was released, it was taken down from YouTube. Trap Law Ross quickly went to Twitter to share the news with his followers, saying, "The video got taken down. Hopefully, I can get it back soon. I am working with YouTube now." But Ross went back to Twitter to update his followers on what was happening. When one person asked what changes he made to get the video back on the platform, Ross replied, "I blurred all the guns, vapes, weed, and cigarettes." He also talked about how no funeral homes would take King Von's body, even though people called him an angel, saying it was all just cap. Ross made some changes to the documentary, including removing guesses about who set up Duck, adding new information, and taking out some descriptions of deaths. However, the documentary still faced a lot of criticism from King Von's family, friends, and fans. One Reddit user pointed out several mistakes in Ross's timeline, which made people question the truth of his claims. One of the people who criticized the documentary was rapper Boosie Badazz. While appearing on Vlad TV, Boosie said he only watched 30 minutes of the documentary before he lost interest and mentioned that YouTube. And all these people who think they know what they are talking about don't actually know what the __ is going on. I be looking at this __ on YouTube like you'll be totally wrong, you'll __ You're guessing if you're not inside their click total you don't know. Despite the criticisms, the film has maintained its popularity and even attracted more than 600,000 views barely 24 hours after it was added back on YouTube. Next up, this YouTuber couldn't help but express relief at King Von's. Trench News talked about how he felt when King Von passed away. He said that Von had given him many chances and that Von could have hurt him a few times, but chose not to. Even though King Von is gone, Trench News still continues. He recalled a time when he was really scared of the rapper. He explained that their relationship was based on live and let live, meaning they respected each other and gave each other chances to stay safe in their community. King Von may have had control and made the decisions that led to his own death, but Trench News never had a direct face-to-face confrontation with him. He was also not involved in the situation with Quando Rondo that resulted in King Von's death. However, when it came to King Von passing away, Trench News seemed to feel a sense of relief. In a real conversation with DJ Vlad, the masked singer talked about losing his friend and cellmate in the tragic shooting outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta. He admitted that he blamed King Von for what happened and said that he felt relieved about the way things turned out for the OTF side. Kind of hurt, but then you know what I'm saying, like you can't bring him back. I was relieved for the community, man, cause he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't going to lie to you, man, it is what it is. Bad. Trench News raved on about how King Varf was a bone in the neck, adding that for the community to be better his death was necessary. The rapper told DJ Vlad that King Vow always carried out his threats no matter who his target was, according to Trench is whatever he say he mean it. Man Van is. No one could downplay King Von's reputation. He was serious about everything. If Von were here right now and I went live saying, Von, you are not like that, he would not let it slide. He would wait and make sure to show me he meant business when he saw me. Are mostly true, and he watched the whole 3-hour documentary about him. Interestingly, the idea of King Von being a demon is something Von himself never denied. In fact, he even referred to himself as a demon. He had a song called Demon, and in it, he rapped, "If I tell you I love you, I mean it. Why he got killed, I seen it, I was right there. Still can't believe it, it turned me to a demon. Damn, police. Ask me, I ain't seen nothing. Back-to-back hits like a rerun. Me and T-Roy was scheming. I'm trying to put my whole team on. Yeah, at age 11 the Chicago native lost his dad after a sniper gunned him down. A few years later, after visiting a store, he came out to meet his friend Whitey lying in a pool of his own blood. According to his lyrics, these deaths were his undoing as it awoke a demon inside him, but like Charleston White once claimed, King Vow was the demon who died just last month. JM, who sat to talk with DJ Vlad, did. JM did not hold back when discussing King Von's death. He openly said that, at the time, he felt like King Von got what he deserved. He said, "At that time, I thought that's what he gets. That's how I felt about King Von." Even though JM never had a direct run-in with King Von, he faced a lot of criticism in 2023. This came after he filmed a video where he dropped off whoops at King Von's mural. In the video, he could be seen wearing a 63rd chain. King V, need these whoops, I'm leaving these right here for those black, let's start them. Once fans spotted the clip, they came down heavy on J Mane, but somehow the rapper didn't back down. He granted an interview with Cam Capone News where he cleared the air on the market that _ was stupid. Cam, my whoops is a symbol of peace, bro. Despite this admission, which meant that he pursued peace, it did not save JM from getting scrutinized by Oblock as they called out the rapper, stating that it was utter disrespect to drop whoops. When JM dropped off the song Whoops at King Von's mural, other rappers and industry figures, like Adam22 from No Jumper, talked about it with their audience. They all agreed that it was an immature thing to do. They felt that JM was trying to get attention and go viral, but he went about it in the wrong way. It seemed like many people who had crossed paths with King Von were scared of what he could do, but only a few were brave enough to speak out after his death. If you like this video and want to see more content like it, make sure to click on the card showing on the screen.